Hey there, and welcome back. Today we're doing a deep dive, looking closely at some source material you've shared. Specifically, it's a celebratory piece.
That's right. It details the recent activities of the GCV team over in Greater China, focusing on Picoin.
Okay, so our goal here is really to unpack the main claims, the key figures presented in this particular source.
Got it.
And, well, right off the bat, the article highlights one specific achievement pretty heavily.
Yeah, it jumps right out.
The reported repurchase of over 3 million Pi coins. And get this, in just 3 months.
And it's interesting how the source frames that number. It's not just stated, it's
Wow.
it's called a triumph.
A triumph, okay.
Yeah, and a monumental milestone. The article explicitly says pulses with the team's ingenuity and sweat. That kind of language tells you this is positioned as the core success story here.
Right, really strong framing. So building on that, the source then talks about leadership. It mentions Chief Ambassador Daniel and Executive Director Shilong.
And it notes that their strategy was guided by someone called Peter Dongfang Zillion.
Interesting. But the article says it's not just the leaders, right?
No, definitely not. According to this piece, huge credit goes to the GCV community itself. It calls them the heartbeat.
The heartbeat.
And the unbreakable foundation of the whole thing. It even claims, quite boldly, that no other community can rival its power.
Wow. Okay. So immense pride in their community base, clearly stated in the source.
Absolutely. It's a central theme.
The source also touches on past work, like groundwork they laid earlier.
Yeah, it looks back to the closed mainnet phase, before the current open network period.
Right.
And it claims the team united back then to forge over 7 million GCV chain data points.
7 million data points. And how does the source connect that to what's happening now?
Well, it presents it as absolutely crucial. It describes those data points as laying a, quote, rock-solid ecological framework.
Okay, so positioning that early work as a foundation for their current activities.
Exactly. That's the narrative presented.
Yeah. Now, it's not all just celebration of past stuff. The source does mention current challenges.
It does. It talks about facing cutthroat exchange price challenges now in the open network.
So a dose of present reality there. What does the article claim about their response to that?
This is where the language gets pretty vivid again. It portrays the team responding with ferocious tenacity.
Ferocious tenacity.
And inventive brilliance. The article suggests that through this effort, they're, and this is a quote, conjuring yet another global miracle.
A global miracle. So the implication is these challenges are serious, and overcoming them is presented as extraordinary.
That's certainly the view from this source. Yes, extraordinary effort needed.
And does it give any, immediate action plan? A motto, maybe?
It does offer a very clear, very brief mission statement from the team, according to the article. Buy, hold, thrive.
Buy, hold, thrive.
Okay.
Seems pretty direct. Sums up their philosophy as reported here.
Seems to, yeah.
All right, so let's recap this deep dive into the source material. We've touched on the big points it highlights. That reported 3 million Picoin repurchase.
The headline number.
The specific leaders mentioned, Daniel and Shilong, guided by teacher Dongfang Zillion.
Right. And the huge emphasis on the community's role, the heartbeat.
And that past groundwork, the 7 million data points from the closed mainnet phase, described as foundational.
Yeah, setting the stage.
And finally, how the source frames their current push against those cutthroat price challenges, using that really strong language.
So this dive really gives you, the listener, a specific window into the reported activities and, well, the ambitions of this particular team.
All based entirely on the perspective in this one source we examined.
Exactly. And maybe the most provocative thought to leave you with, something taken directly from this source, is the future target it lays out. The article explicitly states the team is sprinting towards a specific date.
A date. Which one?
June 28, 2025. And the stated goal, according to this source, to crown Pi Network the unrivaled king of stablecoins.
Wow. The unrivaled king of stablecoins by mid-2025. That's certainly an ambitious finish line they've reportedly set.
It is, and that's the picture painted by this particular source material.